The Dallas Cowboys signing the fastest wide receiver in the NFL. So we're gonna be going through that and 5 other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Dallas Cowboys news content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel hitting that red button down below. The first story is Cowboys linked to free agency move for Chiefs wide receiver with elite speed. The Dallas Cowboys are going to need reinforcements at wide receiver, and that could come in the form of a blazing fast member of the Kansas City Chiefs. Dallas offense ended up being the team's weak point as they exited out of the 2022 season, losing to the San Francisco 49ers in the divisional round after scoring just 12 points. The team has moved on from offensive coordinator Kellen Moore, and more changes feel likely. Accordingly, Sports Illustrated's Harrison Reno addressed potential newcomers for the Cowboys, with Kansas City Chiefs receiver Mecole Hardman as one of the options. In his previous 3 seasons as a Chief, Hardman has shown he possesses an elite trait, speed, something the Cowboys lack, Reno wrote. Signing Hardman would give them another weapon who can take the top off the defense with his legs or even contribute in the slot. While Hardman hasn't exactly established himself as the new Tyreek Hill since the older wide receiver's departure to the Miami Dolphins, there's clear talent in the 24-year-old, and his speed is something Dallas currently doesn't have. After impressing at Georgia, Kansas City drafted Hardman in the 2nd round of the 2019 NFL Draft, and it's fair to say that the former Bulldog could not have asked for a better rookie year. PFR shows that the 510 receiver caught 26 passes for 538 receiving yards in the regular season, scoring 6 times in the process. Hardman was selected to the Pro Bowl as a rookie, and, more importantly, the Chiefs won Super Bowl LIV. Hardman ran a 4.33 40-yard dash at the 2019 NFL Combine, and it immediately made him a danger for secondaries at the NFL level. After his breakout rookie season, he followed up with solid contributions for the following years, eclipsing 550 receiving yards in both seasons and adding another 6 touchdowns to his resume over that span. 2022 has been a bit more of a struggle, as Hardman wasn't producing at the same pace as previous seasons, and then suffered an abdominal injury in Week 9 that sidelined him until Week 18. For the entirety of his time with the Chiefs, Hardman has had to share attention with names like Hill and tight end Travis Kelce. With the Cowboys, he'd be splitting with CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup, which makes him seem like a much more complementary weapon. While Hardman's speed may be sorely needed by Dallas, he definitely will not be the most affordable option. The Cowboys have plenty of maneuvers they can make to make cap space, but Hardman's projected market value is fairly steep. Spotrac's current estimate for the Chiefs wide receiver's next contract is a 4-year, $44.1 million deal. They point to recent deals for Detroit Lions WRDJ Chark and Tampa Bay Buccaneers W.R. Russell Gage as the market setters, as both received deals worth $10 million this past year. The second story is Chargers could give Cowboys wondrous wide receiver solution after latest report. The Dallas Cowboys are $7.5 million over the cap for 2023. They have plenty of potential avenues to get under the salary cap before the start of the new league year, but odds are they won't have ample money to throw around in free agency when you account for re-signings, contract extensions, and the 2023 draft class. That's not to say the Cowboys should go bargain bin shopping, but we're all aware Jerry Jones doesn't love spending like a drunken sailor. That means Dallas should turn over every stone to improve their roster. That includes browsing the cap casualty market. Teams release players in droves before free agency in the name of freeing up cap space, and the same can be expected this year with nearly half the league over the cap. That includes the Los Angeles Chargers, who are $20 million over the cap. This will force general manager Tom Telesco into some cutthroat decisions. According to Chargers writer Daniel Popper of The Athletic, one of those moves might include releasing star wide receiver Keenan Allen. Popper listed 6 Chargers players who may become cap casualties. The most likely candidates in Popper's eyes are Allen, tight end Gerald Everett, and left guard Matt Failer. Should Popper's Allen prediction manifest itself before free agency, the Cowboys should be all over signing the veteran receiver. Allen isn't the player he was during his prime, but he was never overly reliant on athleticism. That bodes well for his production entering his age 31 season. Allen made 5 straight Pro Bowls spanning 2017 to 21, and likely would have added a 6th to his resume if not for a hamstring injury upending his 2022 campaign. In 10 games, Allen Allen still posted 66 catches for 752 yards and 4 scores. Even on the wrong side of 30, Allen is still one of the NFL's premier possession receivers. The Cowboys undoubtedly need to add a vertical dimension to their passing game, but they need receivers to get open for Dak Prescott first and foremost, and that's Allen's specialty. We normally wouldn't bang the drum for a receiver north of 30 years old, but the free agent market for WRs is extremely barren. The top options include Odell Beckham Jr., who just turned 30 and has had 2 ACL surgeries to the same knee, Alan Lazard, Paris Campbell, and Jacoby Meyers. The third story is Cowboys predicted to land new star playmaker. The Dallas Cowboys are in the market for an upgraded wide receiver and could look to address the position in the first round of the upcoming NFL draft with the number 26 pick. One potential name to watch for Dallas is Ohio State receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba, who NFL.com's Eric Edholm has Dallas selecting in his latest mock draft. It will be fascinating to see where JSN lands after injuries derailed his 2022 campaign, Edholm wrote on February 3rd. The Cowboys badly need receiver help, though, and could consider ending his slide here. Heading into the college football season, Smith-Njigba was widely viewed as the top witty-out prospect and a potential top 10 pick. The Buckeyes receiver battled a hamstring injury that sidelined him for much of 2022. Smith-Njigba only played in 3 games, notching 5 receptions for 43 yards. The playmaker is just 1 season removed from posting 95 receptions for 1,606 yards and 9 touchdowns in 2021. The Cowboys will need to address the position in a major way this offseason, likely double-dipping in both the draft and free agency. Noah Brown and T.Y. Hilton are both free agents, and it will be interesting to see if Dallas looks to bring back either player. Dallas is also hoping Jalen Tolbert can bounce back from an underwhelming rookie campaign. ESPN's Matt Miller sees a lot of similarities between Smith-Njigba and Cowboys star CeeDee Lamb. Smith-Njigba finished the 2021 season with a record-setting Rose Bowl appearance, but was hampered by a hamstring injury in 2022, limiting him to just 5 catches and 43 yards, Miller wrote on January 21st. It makes for a fascinating evaluation, but the 6'1", 200-pound Smith-Njigba can still find himself in the top 15 picks. He shows excellent concentration and body control, and he can still get open even when the defense is keyed to stop him. One name who continues to be linked to the Cowboys is Odell Beckham, and the team's public interest in the witty-out during the season shows how much Dallas wants to improve the position. Ultimately, Beckham's return timeline did not coincide with what the Cowboys were hoping for this past season. The fourth story is Cowboys are expected to place franchise tag on RB Tony Pollard. The Dallas Cowboys are expected to place the franchise tag on pending free agent running back Tony Pollard, and that means a big dollar number will be on the running back room for America's team. Pollard had an amazing season for Dallas in 2022. He totaled nearly 1,500 yards rushing and receiving and scored 12 total touchdowns as the only true game-breaking playmaker on the Cowboys' offense. Now, after the 4 seasons on his rookie deal ended, he's set to hit unrestricted free agency, and the team seems willing to do whatever it takes to keep him around, even if it means using the tag worth over $10 million for 1 season. The other possible issue with tagging Tony Pollard is that he underwent surgery on his fractured left fibula, an injury he suffered in the playoff loss to the San Francisco 49ers, but the good news are that he's reportedly expected to be ready in time for training camp. Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones already publicly expressed that they want to bring Zeke Elliott back to Dallas next season, and Elliott is due to make $16.7 million in 2023. That means that once Pollard gets tagged, 2 players in the running back room for the Cowboys will be worth almost $30 million. That's a lot, especially considering the 2 Super Bowl teams, Kansas City Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles, are paying less than $5 million total for their current running back rooms. The fifth story is Dallas Cowboys Dalton Schultz reportedly has high asking price for new contract. Dallas Cowboys tight end Dalton Schultz emerged as one of the best weapons on the team this past season, playing in a contract year on the franchise tag. Poised to become one of the top NFL free agents in 2023, Dallas will need to pay him a lot more to keep him. The Cowboys kept Schultz off the open market in 2022, using the franchise tag on him worth $10.93 million fully guaranteed. Applying the tag for the second consecutive year would incur a 120% salary increase, providing Schultz with a 1-year contract at $13.1 million that is fully guaranteed next season. Dallas is interested in retaining its 6'5" tight end, especially given his connection with Dak Prescott. Schultz finished second on the team in targets and receiving yards, playing in just 15 games. He also elevated his game in the playoffs, finishing with 122 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. Dalton Schultz stats: 57 receptions, 577 receiving yards, 10.1 IPC, 27 first downs, 80.4 QB rating when targeted. However, it could be a challenge to keep him on the roster. The $13 million guaranteed on the franchise tag would create a new barrier for a team that is already $7 million over the 2023 salary cap. It leaves the franchise with contract negotiations, and that brings its own issues. According to Bob Sturm of The Athletic, Schultz is believed to be seeking top of the team market range money in a long-term deal. Given many around the league expect the salaries for the highest-paid tight ends to explode this offseason, Schultz could push for a deal with a $14 million average annual value. It puts Dallas in a predicament. Tight ends making $14 million per season are among the best in the NFL, either a Hall of Fame caliber weapon like Travis Kelce or an outstanding blocker and receiver such as George Kittle.